All right, I think we're good, everyone. Welcome to Boys and Brunch. This is the show where we expose everything going down on the timeline. And speaking of timelines, there is one below. And if you're watching this on replay, you can jump straight to the topic that you want to listen to. Today, we are talking about the Fine Sai uh, internet drama scandal. It's pretty crazy what happened. And then we're going to talk about uh, whether feminine gay men are more accepted in the mainstream than masculine gay men, and I'll break that down. I'll break down why that's a question. Uh, and then the next one, uh, I'm Rita. Hey, Mama Shay, I see you.
Right,
And
starts.
Tuscan Wonder, I see you as well. Hello. Next one, we're going to do the Texas uh, tragedy that's going on in Texas and the trashy tweets that are going on about that. And finally, we're going to end off with the question of, is a gym body natural? I'm Jarrod D. King. I am joined by co-hosts Marcus Haynes and Brandon Harris Williams. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Hello,
Hello.
hello.
Good. All right. So, Brandon, why don't you start us off? What are you drinking, and what's going on in your world?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking a tequila sunrise. I feel like it's a little too strong though. So we're gonna pray about that. Um, what is going on? A lot of nothing. So I have to do a lot of things today when we get off because I have not been productive all weekend. Um, let me see. Yeah, that's about it. I have like a very long to-do list of stuff to do, like make our grocery list, go grocery shopping, clean
Mm,
up. I got some
okay.
writing to do. Y'all saw me quickly erasing my boards behind me before we started. So yeah, it's,
Yeah, that's
it's a lot going
classified
on.
information.
It is. It is.
All right, sounds good. Marcus, I see you taking a sip there. What you got?
Woo. I needed something strong today, so I'm talking with Jack and Coke.
All right, sounds
Amen.
good. And
Um,
any interesting updates from you?
yes, I you may notice I don't have my normal background. I'm in a new location right now because I had to try to get some things seen about with my vehicle.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna pry, uh, but we hope your vehicle ends up in good condition.
We're gonna
Um,
hope so too.
Yeah. So my whole thing this week has been I have just been going crazy on like K-drama and stuff. I've been watching a lot of TV. Let me just say that. But this week, I guess, I did a TikTok about the I watched like three different K-dramas, like Korean dramas on Netflix. Um, so they're pretty good. Check out my TikTok to see how I list those. And I'm trying to think something else. I don't know. Other stuff has happened. If I think about it, I'll let y'all know while we chat. But right now, I'm drinking a rosé. Last week I did sparkling, and this is just regular rosé, and it's just not as jazzy. So we're going back to sparkling next time I get a rosé. Um, and I don't know if you guys saw, but there was well, you probably didn't see, but one of our viewers, Ty McKinney, did a TikTok talking about, you drink, what was that? You drink barefoot. I drink, something else. And,
Well,
I happen to like have barefoot with me today.
barefoot is affordable. Listen, it gets the job
I know.
done.
So, I mean, I was just like, okay, I'm totally not in my bourgeois element right now, but it's all right. It's all right. But anyway, to the bourgeois, if at any point you hear something you like, please give us a like. In fact, if you're on YouTube, give us a like right now because we need all of the boosting that we can get. And I think that's about it. I think we're going to jump into our first topic. We're going to talk about Fine Psy. So first, I want to start off this topic by saying this is not an excuse or not a place for transphobia. And I have a moderator in the chat, so please, nobody go to crazy lengths about this. We're going to talk about this, but we're going to be respectful at the same time. So a trans woman by the name of Sai, pronouns they them, spoke about put up a video a few days ago about being, I'm stuck in the basement. It was a kind of a scary video. I'm stuck in the basement with this, big, Latino man. He might come back, and it just kind of got everybody really upset and worried about their safety. And it immediately went viral. I saw it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it went to the top of Twitter. Like, it was like the #1 trending topic that night. And then so people were trying to figure out where where Sai was. The whole hashtag Find Sai came up, and then they started posting videos saying that they were okay and everything, but then they weren't believed because the videos looked like maybe they were talking about it under duress. So a lot of people didn't believe that. So then they also had a GoFundMe up there. They gained close to $3,000 of donations because of this. And then it was later proven to be fake. The whole thing was proven to be fake. So I'm going to play a video of their apology, and then we're going to get into this topic. So let me just share that. Hold on. Wait, I got to make sure I get the right one.
I did lead people to believe that I was in immediate danger. And this was not something that was a level-headed, clear-headed decision. It came from a place of me going through it. What I posted was basically a 3-second clip crying for help. I was giving just a CC of, indicating that, something had happened to me or I was in danger. I tried to take it back as soon as I could. I tried to backtrack it. I tried to delete it. I tried to, but it kept getting deeper and deeper as, I am.
All right, so I'm going to skip through this because this is a little bit long, but I just want to get to a few key points in the video. So let me skip ahead a little bit.
Since took advantage of, that sense of over familiarity that people tend to have with influencers or Black women in general. I kind of took that and I ran with it. It was definitely a cry for attention. It was desperate. It was wrong, might I add. It was disgusting, and I immediately regretted it because I deleted it 10 minutes later.
All right, last little bit here. Hold on. I cannot get these controls right. Bear with me, y'all.
It wasn't a lie because as a Black trans woman, I've been in these situations.
Okay. So that's the apology video there. So I want to ask you guys, what are your thoughts about this when you hear this? Like, maybe Brandon, you can start us off. How were you feeling about this situation?
I don't know. I almost feel like everything that needs to be said was said in the apology. I think that it's important that she acknowledged that it is a very serious situation that has happened to a lot of other trans women, that it definitely does play on people's fear or their want to help with doing something like that. I think it's good to acknowledge it was a cry for attention, that she regretted it and tried to take it down. But I do know, in the social media age, everybody can download a video or copy and paste the video to post it. So even if you try to take something down quickly, if somebody else saw it and they saved it already, then it's still going to circulate, which I guess is what happened in this situation. I am, though, because I thought I read as well, though, that she got more than the 3,000. I thought it was two or three different GoFundMes that were up.
Oh, I didn't know that. All I saw was the one GoFundMe that she had that actually, and just to be clear, she had this up in January, and this was, and I would say
they,
excuse me, they had this up in January, and this was for transitional surgery and stuff like that. So yeah, so they had like 40,000 already in the GoFundMe or something like that, and this just kind of boosted them up a little bit more.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm, you know, it's like it's hard to talk about it because you're not part of this community and you don't want to be completely like on top of it, on top of this person. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you really just kind of took advantage of people here. And I think that they understood that. But at the same time, at the end of the video, they were like, this isn't really a lie. And so that is just kind of like, well, what kind of half apology is this, you know? And that's kind of what's giving me a little bit of pause. I'm just kind of like, are you sorry, or what are you trying to say by saying this isn't really a lie because other people go through this? I mean, for you, this was a lie, correct? You know, Marcus, do you have any thoughts on that?
It is sort of it is a sticky situation to kind of to dig into, because you don't want to get to the point where you're like, what's the word? You're like not excusing, but you're like ignoring people, because a lot of people will take the one situation and say, oh, see, this is why we don't believe such and such. This is why we don't agree with such and such. So you don't want to pile onto that, but at the same time, you still want to recognize it. Hey, that was kind of messed up what you were doing. And what I think we all need to kind of look at this and kind of take away is that at the end of the day, there are people who do shady stuff. There are people who do anything for clout, no matter who you are, where you are, or what group you're a part of. And I think that's kind of my main takeaway. You know, them doing this and it kind of coming across as just being something for clout is just what that is. It's just them doing it for clout. There are clout chasers in everywhere. So it's just another clout chaser.
Yeah. So Mama Shay is asking, did she do this to boost the GoFundMe? I believe that was actually the motive behind this. I think, and you know, this is not a direct quote or anything, but from what I read, they were very close to meeting the amount that they needed. And so this was one of those, you know, desperate attempts to kind of get the rest of the money together so that they could go ahead with their cosmetic surgery. Yeah. So yeah, it was really crazy. A lot of people are still very upset about this. You know, it's important to not take this one situation and
Absolutely
blanket everybody else with this. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think that that's an important point. But I just want to ask you guys, like, what else can we learn from this situation, do you think? I mean, is that basically, I mean, is it basically just, you know, just, I mean, because so here's the thing, because I think a lot of people are thinking, you know, now you can't just believe anybody when they say they're in a crisis. And I don't necessarily think that is the right approach to take this. I think you know, you kind of chalk this up to, okay, you got me. And, you know, that was just this one situation. And I don't think you can really, you know, say that the next person that says something, you have to investigate it a little bit more or anything like that. I think you should. I think if you see somebody in crisis, you should help out if you feel, you know, compelled to. So that's what I would take away from it, at least. I don't know if there are any other thoughts on this.
I think also, and not to excuse it, but I do think that even the whole GoFundMe to raise money, or knowing this is a last ditch effort or whatever, I think it also goes to further prove that we know trans women specifically are like disproportionately paid, or have, you know what I'm saying? Like there is typically, I'm trying to figure out the words to say it, but you know, like the funds just normally are not there. This is the way they are for kind of everybody else. So I think that it can also kind of highlight that, which is hard to see given that, you know, we were scammed or it was a lie or whatever else. But I think it is important to still look at the bigger picture as well, you know? something is also similar to like sexual assault. Like, okay, it's very, very rare somebody does lie or, tell a half truth or whatever about it. But far more people, who are coming forward or being honest about the situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this, Marcus, before we move on to the next topic?
No, I like what Brandon just said. Like, I think we need to remember that a lot of people, it's rare that these situations end up being lies. So I think that's something that we need to keep in mind, because people will take this and say like, oh, see, they're lying too, and that's not the case. So just keep in mind that people are people, individuals are individuals, and you can't use blanket statements to cover any one group of people.
Yeah. It was just so interesting to see that this flew up on the radar so fast on Twitter. And I don't know if it was the same, because I know Twitter has their own algorithm for how they show the top tweets or whatever. So basically it's either based on location or whatever. I think I have mine set to the United States. So when I saw it, it was like the top trend in the country for a few hours or whatever. So I mean, it's a bad thing to do, unfortunately. But the good part of it is that I think that it will shine a light on the people who actually need the help. And I think that I'm going to give her that may be what she was trying to say at the end of the video, saying that, it's not a lie because a lot of people go through this. So yeah, they were lying, but this is not something that isn't uncommon, if you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think that's what we have to learn from it, and just be cognizant of that. So we're gonna move into the next topic, but before we do that, I do want to let y'all know about the Patreon, of course. And I know y'all hate this little 2-second segment that I do, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Okay. So the Patreon, we've got I've changed the levels a little bit. So now at our lowest tier, $4 a month, you get access to our exclusive Splitting the Bill after show. You also get access to the Discord chat. So all of the Gorgeois is in there. So far, I also have to shout out Connected, who is a new patron. Hello, Connected. Thank you. Bravo. And exactly. We are we're loving the Discord chat so far. And if we can get some more people in there, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can already see that. We've been talking constantly back and forth. Me, Connected, and Mama Shay have been in the Discord. It's been a blast. We also have the Gorgeois Brunch coming up. It's in 1 month. So I want you guys to sign up for that. If you don't want to sign up to the email list, just ask me for the link or what. I'll throw the link out there. Just come, okay? It's free, and I just want y'all in the chat with us. It's not going to be live on YouTube. We're just going to have our own thing going on. So with that said, we're going to move into our next topic. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share this tweet first. And then
Lord.
we're going to talk.
Always lead to something bad.
Okay, let me get this. All right. Now let me maximize this. Okay, so the original tweet, as you guys can see, if y'all don't know Twitter, the original tweet is the one in the middle first. I'm gonna read this. When people say you can't be gay when people say you can't be gay or look at you and say you don't look gay at all, they're basing gay on choice. Nature chooses you, you don't choose it. So anyone can be gay: military, athletes, actors, entertainers, etc., etc. Then he posts, a very sexy picture of himself or somebody.
Does he look good?
I'm gonna say, is that him that posted it? I didn't know.
I don't know if that was.
I didn't click on it and see, so I don't know.
I don't know.
If it is, fine. I have to give him that.
I mean,
yeah, cute.
Anyway, this guy, he got a response. The stigmatization of gay men, especially gay Black men, is drenched in toxicity. If we ain't feminine, then something is wrong with us. Masculinity in the gay community is not as entertaining to the public. we're in constant disputes to prove something. So that is the tweet.
Mhm.
So I just want to, because this struck me as a little bit strange, and I was like, I don't know. I just you know how you like cook some chicken, and there's just like a little
Okay.
bit of funk. That's how this hit
I
me.
think I'm done cooking that chicken then.
It's like, that chicken sat in the fridge a little too long. And you got a little bit of funk, even though you cooked the chicken. That's what this tweet was like.
This analogy, I love it. I love it.
I mean, that's
I
how
don't know if I can relate to that, but okay.
Well, anytime
Because
you
we're done with that
you
chicken
cook
then.
something and it's
It's
just
going in
like
the
a little bit
garbage.
like sour, like I don't know, just something's wrong with it, and you just gotta like throw it to the side, like nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, it's going in the garbage, and we're
Okay.
going on Uber Eats.
So exactly.
Hello?
So Marcus, can you what's the feeling on this? Because it just struck me a little strange.
Child, he felt away. That's what the feeling is. He felt away. He felt like, this was his moment to be like, because I am masculine, y'all don't like me as a gay person, and I am upset about it. Masculinity is something like it's one of those same things. It's one of that constant thing of folks who consider themselves masc always feeling like like they're better than the other people in the community. That's really all it boils down to. And he decided to take this tweet as his platform to be like, y'all don't appreciate masc folk enough.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got from it too. I'm just dying at these comments because people are like, my moldy chicken analogy, I guess, struck a chord.
Not moldy. Wait. I
I
thought
mean,
Wait, now that's a
funky
whole other
chicken,
deal. Moldy.
moldy chicken, whatever it was. Focus
two
said, if
different
we got
things.
funky
Wait.
chicken, thou shan't throw it in the trash, saith the Lord. Yeah, well, I'm
Why
throwing that.
should you not?
So
No,
I
he
guess
said
Why
that's
you keeping it?
salmonella. Salmonella is a thing, people.
exactly. I'm guessing we're gonna throw it in the garbage disposal. Maybe that's what you mean. But yeah. Oh,
Lord.
he said that shan't meant shall. Should be shall. Got it. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
But yeah, that's
Amen
kind
to
of
Dashay.
what I got from this tweet was that, it was very much, I'm masculine, but I felt almost like, I can't be in other straight circles because I can't be comfortably be in straight amongst other straight men because I'm masculine. I don't know, because I've gotten that a little bit sometimes, that sometimes people feel like if you're feminine and you're around straight men, then they're a little bit more comfortable because they know what's going on versus somebody who's masc who could potentially like grip them up and all that stuff if they needed. You know what I'm saying? Which is wacky in and of itself, but that's kind of what I got from it. Brandon, did you give us your thoughts? Because I just immediately jumped to funky
I
chicken
did
in my own
not.
thoughts. So
Not you.
please.
You're fine. You're fine. It's almost like conflating a couple of things because it's very interesting that he feels like, I guess, outside of the gay community because he's masc, because it's like you're clearly not that into the gay community because people love masculine men. So I'm confused as to why you don't feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like why do you feel like you're being stigmatized or that you're not being celebrated when you normally are? I do think that there might be more of a celebration of the femme man in media, but I think that's just more so some of that is stereotypical on heterosexual people's part. Some of that's, stereotypical given marketing or whatever else, because it's easy to be quote unquote entertained or to see or whatever. Um, but some of it's just downright more entertaining. Like Drag Race, for example, I think is to an extent more effeminate men. Um, but I don't know what like I don't know what they want. I'm confused as to what they want to see. Like
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Mama Shay is saying, from the straight side, there's a stronger reaction of disbelief or gnaw when a gay man is more masculine. So yeah, there's that. So that's definitely true. Focused is saying, excuse me, if straight men only knew that we know they don't wipe, so they don't have anything to worry about. So,
And now, and I think if I can say, like, I feel like that's what the original tweet was kind of getting at, not the not wiping part, the straight, they be people be surprised type deal. Like, I think that is kind of what the original tweet was getting at, was like, people still have this mindset that people are gay because, like, oh, I know they're gay because they feminine, because they walk a little certain way, or what have you. And like that's their indicator.
Mhm.
So when they see people who don't necessarily do that, they're always surprised. So I feel like that's what the original tweet was kind of getting at.
mhm.
So to have this person is like, yeah, they hate the masks. They don't love us enough. We are masked. We are important. And it's like, girl,
Right.
sit down.
Right.
So,
And that I think
please.
that's a testament to what Twitter is like. You just kind of read your own thing into what somebody else
Uh-huh.
says.
The people need different interpretation.
Right. Now, there's also another point in here that Mama Shay made, that media/mainstream loves to exploit the femme man. And so
true.
there's a nugget of truth in what this guy is saying, in that we're a little bit more visible, I think.
Yeah.
As if you're femme.
But I think it's
I
kind of
don't
going back to what
know.
I was.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that's kind of what I was saying, though. I think that we are more visible on a large scale as feminine, but I think in the community, like more masculine men are typically more celebrated. I think it's only become as of late, or at least also we got to remember, like, some things that happen on Twitter don't also happen in real life. Like, I think on Twitter there's more of a celebration of feminine men, or men who are comfortable in both their masculine and feminine sides. So I think I'm confused as to where they feel left out
Yeah. I mean,
in the
my other
community.
thing, the other thing is, as far as being more accepted, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, I feel like the acceptance is it's like maybe 0.1% more or less. Like it's so invisible. Like, why are we even talking about this? And then I feel like femme gay men have a lot more danger to deal with.
Mhm.
I feel like it's just a little bit more of a dangerous environment if you're a femme gay man in this world. So yeah, so I don't I'm not completely on board with what he's saying. But the other point that I wanted to bring up, the other reason why it just kind of struck me as a little bit weird, is that we have this very serious tweet, and then we have a thirst trap underneath. And so I'm trying to understand what that's about. Like, why do we do this?
But
Somebody,
Jerry, why are we complaining about the fine man? I don't.
because it's just weird.
But
Like, make
I
your
think
point.
it's
Go
several
ahead.
things. But I think it's several things because everybody's not going to read the caption; they're just going to see the picture, like it, and keep it going. Sometimes you might. I mean, people are very, like, sex sells, like, as we know. So, like, they might get you some people to hop in your DMs, might get some people to just automatically agree. It's the whole thing, like, we constantly talk about. There is constantly a conversation of, like, pretty privilege or whatever on Twitter. Like, okay, well, he fine, so let me agree with him. Like, cool. Because your
I'm
point can't
inclined to
stand without
agree.
your thirst trap.
I just think it's weird. And I feel like if you're gonna post a thirst trap, post your thirst trap. Don't say, donate to your homeless shelter, and then you're showing your abs or something. Like, it's weird.
Did we talk about that on this show? That man who was like showing his ass, but
We
he
did
was
not.
like,
We did
donate to the
not.
children.
Oh my
I
We did
don't
god.
not. We did not.
because that is okay. So like on the like thinking about this seriously, it is stop. But think about this seriously, like that is people do weird stuff. Like they'll put their fake deep captions and
Yes.
they'll put up their thirst trap or what have you. It to an extent it makes sense. Like, Buddy, who was showing his cakes and like playing with the hole or what have you. While talking about, donate money so I can get these children some toys for Christmas.
Mhm.
I understand what your mindset was because, as Brandon just said, sex sales.
Mhm.
I get it. I feel it. But at the same
Mhm.
time, that's kind of a weird message to be sending. You know, pay for the kids, but look at my whole what? I don't know about that.
It's just it's
But
just a
it, you
little
got to get the
much.
attention. You got to get the people to be like, "Oh, he bent over," and then
There
you,
are
you
ways to
turn
get
Yes,
around and you're
attention.
like, "Oh."
There are ways
but
to get
I ain't
attention.
thinking about no cheering when you doing that though. That's the problem.
I think
Well, I
it's
may be
also
thinking about cheering,
interesting because
but it's
it's
not the
like,
cheering this one. Never mind.
oh
Like
Lord
I
have
said, not
mercy.
save the
I
children
do
with cakes
think,
and pies.
but it's like you're already a freak Twitter page, so you could have just posted whatever you needed to post already. Like we already know what to expect from you, so you could have been clothed when you said this. Like you already know who your audience is.
So weird,
Because the
but
video is you, you know, getting it in.
mm,
So yeah.
yeah. I mean, personally, I just, I read all the time. I'm always reading what y'all said, and so 9 times out of 10, even if it's a really nice picture of you, I'm like side eyeing some stuff because like
Hmm.
why it doesn't match up to me. That's just how I am.
I
I'm just
mean,
man.
at the end of the day, you are right because it kind of does. It kind of makes it makes a message about you. To be honest, like when you're putting up this, this
Hmm.
abstract picture, it's no longer about whatever it is you're talking about. It's about you because you have intentionally picked this picture that you know you look good in, or this picture that you know is going to get people talking, so that people will talk. And even if you have the best message in the world, like do with the share, people ain't thinking about that. They thinking about you bent over in the camera, or they thinking about like me. I didn't even read this caption at first. I said, "Oh, he fine." With the picture tweet you just showed.
Right.
Like that was my first thought process.
That's the first thing you see. I mean, so yeah, it's like you get the attention. It's almost like it's almost like a bad Super Bowl commercial where you're like
Yes.
trying to sell a product, but you remember the commercial because of the dancing baby in the background or some crap. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm. Yeah.
anyway, I think we're ready to move into our third topic. So
Lord.
this is the trash tweets about Texas.
Oh my
Um, man,
You said we can cuss after 1:30, right? Is that what you
God.
said?
yes,
Oops. Oops.
it's
Okay.
all right.
Hopefully
It's
I
all right.
made it.
Um, so anyway, in Texas, if you haven't heard, there's snowstorms, power outages in Texas, and I think till to this day they're still dealing with this, and it's just been a really kind of
Hmm.
tragic situation. A lot of people without power. um let me see what I have in my notes here just to make sure I'm giving you all the
It's been
right
like a week at this
information.
point.
Yeah, it's been like a week.
Yeah.
Power outages, gas and water is like scarce. um
Off.
and yeah, it's
Mhm.
off. And this is due to a separate power
Understood.
grid that's the result of um the conservative ideologies in Texas, of the people in control in Texas,
I
mixed
thought you
with
said
the
idiots.
mixed with corporations and mixed
Well,
with
that
government
applies.
policy. It's all kind of mixed in there. And so they have their own separate power grid that's not connected to the rest of the country. And so
Mhm.
they weren't able to get power back on quickly for their citizens. And so they're dealing with this craziness out in Texas. So there's that, but then there's also people who decided to harp on that,
Mhm.
particularly in our side of Twitter, Black Gay Twitter.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to share these tweets, but I did not put these people's Twitter names on here because they did delete their tweets after getting dragged by everybody. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to post what
As
they
they should
said.
have.
And if you want to do some research, then I'm sure you'll find some things. But let me put this in here. First tweet. Y'all might want to consider voting blue next election with a thermostat turned all the way up to 74. Next one. Texas voted for Trump let's not forget freeze hose. So that was number 2. And I mean, our last one.
Not freeze hose.
That's
I think I
that's what he
forgot
said.
that one. I know you fucking lying.
Last one is, I'm sorry, but I'm sick of seeing it in tweets. Snow and ice are not extreme weather events. It's winter after all. All 50 states can receive snow, ice, or both during winter. It's your decision whether to be prepared for it or not. So we've got those. You know, what are your guys' thoughts about this? Because I got really heated when
Marcus wants to go first.
Okay, Marcus, please.
Because see, and I'm on. No, I'm talking on my soapbox. Because see, I'm highly upset by this because while yes, this is what we see a lot in the news and media, what have you, but this is across the South. This is people in Texas and Louisiana, in Mississippi. Y'all know I'm from Mississippi. Like at this very moment, my folks ain't got no water. At this very moment, it's people that ain't got no power. So when I feel like when people fix their mouths to be like, oh, well, you chose this or you did this, what have you, they'll shut your mouth because you don't know what you're talking about. Because y'all try to put this on, say like, oh, well, you voted for Trump or you did this, you did that. No, fuck you. Because most of the people that this is affecting are not the people that voted for Trump. These are the Black people that live in these states, that live in these cities, that are there either because family is there, that are there either because they grew up there, because they have there for whatever reason. Fix your mouth to say, oh, well, this is what you deserve. Oh, fuck you. Because if it had not been for these people in these places, guess what? A lot of the shit that you're for, you wouldn't have. Because at the end of the day, let's not forget, the whole reason why right now the Senate is the way that it is because of a southern state. Let's not get it twisted. When you fix your mouth to talk about people, say that folks deserve that, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That part. And I won't say names, but I do know 2 of those tweets. So the one who tweeted the whole thermostat thing, talking about you should have voted blue. While we do live in Georgia, which is a blue state, the governor is still a Republican. So, but the governor is still a Republican as well. So it's like we're not fully blue the way that we want to be celebrated for. And you can't say stupid things like that when given, like Atlanta just had this whole thing. I mean, it was a few years ago, but like that was a whole disaster because again, the people in charge did not handle it correctly. Everybody like going home or whatever. So that's why people were on the highways and everything else. And the other person saying everywhere it's meant to snow. It is not meant to snow in Texas. Now I get that climate change is happening and different things like that. But again, the people in charge are not taking care of the people, are not. Like hell, Ted Cruz asked left because he knew the shit was about to be bad. Like you can't tell people in a state where it never snows to be prepared for snow. Like that just does not even compute. Like especially for like this magnitude. And then it's their fault because they're there and they've been without power and water for a week. Absolutely not.
How?
I want to bring up. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. Continue your thought.
Because see the thing is like, you'll say like, oh well, how did we get to this? Or like how is this happening? Well, what have you? And the thing is like, this tells me that people that make these comments don't know folk from Mississippi, don't know folk from Texas, from Louisiana, or what have you. Because it's not for lack of trying. You want to blame them for what they're doing or what they're saying or what, who's in power. These people are trying. Like I know people at home that are trying their damnedest to get as many people going to try to vote these people out. But at the end of the day, like we can't pretend that this ain't some racist shit that's in power, that's in play.
Hello.
So you can't blame these people for who it is that are governing them, especially when they're trying their best to make it not so. I'm like, bro, y'all, what's not clicking? What do you not understand about the way that things work? Please explain it to me so I can explain it to you.
Yeah. I do want to bring up, because I mean, we're having a little bit of, I guess, a difference of opinion in the chat. So I want to address Connected's question here. The people who are affected the most likely not Republican. However, how did we get to the point? That's not being mean. That is a real question. So he's saying, how did we get to this point? And if if the majority of people there are voting Republican, there's not much else you can do about that, you know. And if it and you know, the thing is, like, you can't really blame a whole state of people for this situation, because at the end of the day, that it's the people that are put into power. I just
hmm But no, but I mean, but Connecticut has just said that they never lived in the South, so they don't understand. I mean, so that's what it is, like winter weather down here. Like I'm from Illinois originally, so like I'm used
Mhm.
to snow in the winter. That makes sense to me. But I've been in the South so long. Like I've lived in Alabama, Georgia, and Texas. When it snows or starts to ice or do whatever, things close. I lived in Houston, I think 2 years. It was never even ice or snow or anything. So this is something very new for them. Like, so this is a government issue. Like this is like the people that are supposed to be protecting them in charge or whatever are not doing that.
Mhm.
mhm.
Like
I
they're
would
not.
also I would also
No, go
like
ahead.
to say,
hmm
even even if you're a Republican, and I don't think that anybody should have to go through this. You know, I
hmm
probably,
hmm
I if everybody, let's just say everybody in that state voted the same way and had the same mindset, and this was the result, I would still feel bad that they were going through this. I would feel a little less, I may feel a little less remorseful, but I still don't think it's a, I don't even know if remorse is the right word, but anyway, y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I don't
Yeah,
even, but
but I think
I
even
still don't think that
the
that's a reason to tweet this kind of stuff when people are going through real hardships, you know?
absolutely.
Go ahead, Marcus.
What, Brandon? What were you finna say? For
I was just gonna say. I mean, even if like it's at this point though, it's been a week, so I don't understand how you can even still make a joke or talk about things in a derogatory or like negative kind of a way. Like, do you want to be without water and power for a week? Like,
like, come on, man.
I'm confused.
Right.
Like, and I'm gonna say, and see, and that's speaking as someone who's born and raised in the South, like I have never lived outside of the South. Like, even if everybody did vote, just take this last election. Even if everybody did vote Democrat and everybody voted for Biden, and across the South was a blue wave, we're not prepared for that because that doesn't happen here. Like,
hmm
even if we did, quote unquote, vote correctly across the board, like, people just straight up do not have the infrastructure to handle this type of shit. So it really does it, like, bringing in the whole thing of like how people voting is foolishness to me, because we just simply don't have the setup for that, because that's not what we
Yeah,
expect. I feel like it honestly speaks to a larger thing, climate change and global warming and all that shit,
yeah,
because like we just straight up ain't ready for that. Like, then that ain't who you voted for's fault. Even though the Republicans aren't,
exactly.
I mean, the people in charge in these states aren't helping. Like,
Yeah,
even if they were trying to help, they'll have to go through a rough patch because they're just simply not prepared for that level of winter weather.
Yeah.
exactly. I think that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, they're not doing anything, but like you said, it's also the weather. So you can't control the weather. It's the fact though that they aren't doing anything is what makes it so bad, or that they did
Right.
not try to prepare. But also, like I know Houston specifically, they normally have like flooding because it's like under sea level or whatever. So I know some people were saying
True.
that even when the snow finally does start to melt, they might have a flooding issue again
Mm,
Hmm.
because it's kind of nowhere for the snow to go. I mean, for the water to go.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah. Look, I
I
mean,
mean,
if they don't, if we can't get an understanding of just how serious the climate crisis is going to be from these little alarm bells
yeah,
going off,
yeah,
I
annually.
mean, everywhere, and it's
literally.
not just Texas, because we've had weather stuff that's been crazy in the past few years, and it's
Like,
just like,
wasn't that just last year where like all of California was on fire? Like, wasn't that just last
right,
year?
right.
Hello.
It's like every year.
Well, true, true.
Yeah, I
But I
mean,
think, but
and
last year was
that's not
pretty
me being
was
funny.
pretty bad.
What were you saying?
But yeah, absolutely. I think last year was pretty bad. But yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny.
But no, but
It's
again
like
though, but that's
literally they're
also
on
like
fire
a
all the time.
but that's also then a climate thing though for California. So it's like every state has its own thing. It's just as with climate change, now every state is kind of getting everybody else's issues. It seems to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So one thing I want to ask, because I did mention that they deleted these tweets.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on deleting tweets anyway? Because I know some people think,
You
oh,
knew it
you
was
should just
some
leave it
bitch
up.
shit when you said it, and you just wanted fucking attention with your stupid ass. And you know, you got ate the fuck up.
That didn't go the way you thought it was gonna go. That did it.
No, but thank you for that spirited.
I mean, I feel like that said all that needed to be said.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
because people went in far beyond. They went way past the weather for a couple of those people who tweeted. I'm not gonna say things that it'll be clear who tweeted
Oh, they
what,
certainly
but
did. Now look, that's the type of stuff we would put in our Discord. Hello, if y'all want the tea,
Facts. You got to
if y'all
come
want
because
the
we can't do
tea,
this.
y'all
We can't
better
do all this on air.
So I'm just saying, but I do know sometimes, like, and I'll tweet something that might not, like, usually when I tweet and delete something, it's like a joke that doesn't land. Like, I'm joking all the time.
yeah.
And I get like crickets from Twitter, or somebody will respond and then they'll skip right over me and like that response. I'm like, okay, I must have said something wrong. So I will delete some things. I feel like there are levels to know, like, you really shouldn't be putting some stuff out there. But yeah.
I mean, it just
But
goes back to the. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Let's do Marcus
Okay.
and then Brandon.
I'm gonna say, because it just goes back to people do anything for clout. People will do anything that they can to get what they think is gonna be a laugh, and it don't always work because you are here, especially at this time, because this is for real. Like, again, people have been without power, water, whatever, what have you, for a week now. Like, the issue ain't funny, and you trying to get your jokes off at their expense. And this is a lot of people's grandmas and aunties and uncles and stuff that still live in these states, and it's like, no, fuck you.
I think that's the thing too. Is it's like you're not one. It's been a week and there still is no plan, which sucks. Like, my God, on today. But also, it's like it's like you said. You probably thought it was gonna be cute. Thought it was gonna be funny. You thought you were saying something deep, and somebody was gonna agree with you. And no, everybody ate your ass the fuck up, as they should have. You should have kept your mouth closed and your fingers off Twitter.
You should have done ate your food.
Because you're not as smart as you think you are.
Connected is saying, I'm not erasing or deleting shit. I said what I said, period. Period T. No, I'm just kidding.
And when you get dragged, you get dragged. To be like that. So hey.
Now see, I just feel like, well, I don't know. What was I gonna say? Like, people say that you should just leave it up there. And I'm just like, no, I feel like when you tweet something bad, I feel like, you're putting stuff out there, and you know how you say once you communicate something, it can't be taken back. I feel like if you leave it up there, you're still communicating it some way. Like, people can take screenshots and all that and share it. But I feel like once you do something that is wrong, then you kind of have to delete it. I personally would be I'm pro deleting your bad tweets personally, and I don't know.
Yes and no.
Leave them up there.
I mean, I think you should delete it if it is in poor taste or if it is bad. Yes, but I have an issue when you delete it and then you don't address it at all. Like, you delete it, people screenshot it, it's still being shared, it's still a discourse, and you just continue to tweet as if you never tweeted that original tweet. I think like we ask these celebs for an apology. You owe us something too. Be like, hey, I fucked it up. Like, I shouldn't have tweeted that. That was wrong. It was short-sighted. I was not thinking. And I'm not saying it needs to be something deep or long, but like, acknowledge at least that was incorrect, inappropriate. Well, a lot of people don't feel like they were, so they just delete it so they don't have to deal with it anymore. And keep it moving.
Yeah.
And see, and that's the problem with a lot of people who, I'm gonna say, who delete these things and they feel like, okay, I've deleted it and it's gone. No, it's not. No, it's not. And like you said, it's still being circulated. People are still talking about it, and people want them to be forgiven, for what they've said or what have you. But you pretended like it didn't exist. So, like, if you want people to move on, you just need to say that, hey, that was wrong. That was fucked up. I shouldn't have did this. Shouldn't have said that. What have you. So that at least people know that you have messed up. know that you recognize that you have messed up, and then we can move forward with it. But don't pretend like it didn't happen, because it did.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I hear that. And I think we're going to move into this last topic, and I think we're going to have a lot to talk about this as well. I know we only got 10 minutes left, technically, but if we have to go over, we will go over.
Let's do it. I got a whole mobile.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I still got some more drink.
So our last topic, as I said, was fit. I forget how I framed this. So let me just share this. Because I didn't drink too much. I don't even know
Are you pouring?
how to
Are you
frame
pouring?
I'm pouring right now. Because I had forgot what it was, but now that I remember.
Okay, so the tweet goes, one of my friends tweeted yesterday that gym bodies aren't natural, and I had to scream because literally facts. If you have to work out 7 days a week and only eat nuts and berries to have a 42-pack, then sweetie, your body's not meant to be that way. So that's what we had there. So the question is, are fit bodies natural? Can we start with Marcus?
Oh, we can.
We can.
We are. Oh, Lord. Hold on. So, I feel like there's a lot. I mean, okay. It really starts with the question of like, what is natural? Because really seriously, like, what is that? Because I mean, I see where they're coming from, and to an extent, I agree. Because you're forcing yourself to look like that. You're forcing yourself into this super fit state. So the question really, like, what do we consider natural? I don't think I would consider, these 68-pack dudes with 76-inch biceps. That ain't natural, because that's actually kind of scary, but that's just me. So I think there's a lot of truth to that, because like you're forcing yourself into this ideal. Like, it really is, to me, it's not too far from plastic surgery, because you're doing whatever it is that you want to do, or if you feel like you need to do to be desirable. You're doing your butt lifts, you're doing your liposuction, you're doing whatever it is, what it takes in order to make yourself look good.
Yeah. Brandon, you want to follow up on that at all?
I think that it is. I think, like Marcus said, we have to question what is natural. I think that, of course, if you're in the gym and you're working on yourself, then that's not just what you would naturally let your body do. But I mean, is on the flip side, is overeating natural? And that's not an attack. But I'm saying, if you are like, because this tweet is saying, you're not eating enough because you're trying to like build or slim down and do whatever. But what if you're overeating and then you continue to grow and grow? Is that natural as well? So I think it is supposed to be like, I guess it was supposed to be like an attack on people who are in the gym. And of course, people are in the gym for a lot of different reasons. And it probably is a case by case basis. But you can't just say everybody who's working out and eating healthy is like trying to have a fake body,
Yeah. To I guess, to be clear, this whole conversation is kind of brought up in response to the idea that people get fat, or that people are fat because of the result of not eating right and not exercising. So, now you have this argument saying, well, y'all aren't natural either. Like, that's not a natural state either,
And that's not fully what I was trying to say, just to clarify. But
no, and I wish I had said that before y'all got your points in, so that we could do it the right way, but we're here.
Here we are now.
But I feel as though, our bodies are meant to be any way we want them to be. I feel like your body is a highly personal thing. How it looks, how you present yourself, that's a very personal thing. I mean, I think, natural versus unnatural. I mean, I think the word unnatural, I think the opposite of natural has a negative connotation. But, and I think that that's where the friction comes in this in this kind of a
Excuse me.
conversation. But you know, I don't think it necessarily needs to be negative. I don't think I don't think you being, you know, obese needs to be negative. I think, you know, if you're in the gym and you're super fit and you're like maybe over the top fit, and I don't think that needs to be, that's just how you do things, and okay. You know, I don't know. I mean, like, how do you guys think?
I mean, I agree. At the end of the day, you know, not just, you know, shrinking this down to, you know, desirability and say like, you know, getting with somebody, but there's somebody for everybody, you know. If you want to be like a bodybuilder, that's fine. That's your business. Somebody's going to love it. If you want to be, you know, a chub and feeder, and you know you're going in that direction, that's fine. So a lot of people clearly are going to love it. You know, that's a thing. Fine. I think we just need to stop applying that natural name to it, because having that natural marker, whatever have you, automatically elevates it, because you know everyone wants natural. Natural is a good thing, you know, all natural, so on and so forth. So I think we need to just stop saying like, oh, this is what's natural, because what is that, and how do we get to that natural? Because anything you do is going to change it, whether you eat or don't eat.
Yeah, I mean, because I think when you start talking about natural versus unnatural, then you get into, you know, natural hair, natural.
True.
I mean, like, I have blonde hair, I have contacts in. I'm unnatural now. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that I would be sidelined the same way as some other people, but I mean, you've got people that get plastic surgery and used to say that they're bad because they're unnatural, or people who you know, who wear a wig or get weave or whatever. That's not bad. It's not the way you came out of the womb, but I mean, you know. And then I think when you take that argument, it's also very easy to slip into the transphobia thing, because
also true. Also true.
Yeah. So I'm like, I just don't. I don't
Sorry,
like. I don't
Come
like
on, full circle.
the sides of natural, unnatural. I don't like that argument. I think, yeah. So I just don't think it's a really good argument to have. Anything else from you, Brandon, that maybe maybe you could speak on this?
No, I think I'll save for the after show. It's fine.
Oh,
I don't want to go over it.
So that means that y'all got to come on to get the
It's
after
not
show
bad.
to see
It's
what
not
rest
bad.
Brandon got to say.
You do.
I'm looking at these. I'm looking at these chats. I'm just trying to get a quick few in here. Focus is saying he has to work out because he has a thyroid that's damn near not existent. Shows now I haven't been consistently working out. I didn't mean to throw all your business out there, but yeah. Mama Shay.
The Born in Sapphire tweet made me laugh. That's why I was laughing earlier.
What am I missing? Something else? All right. Well, anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to anything that we miss in after show. But anyway, I want you guys, I thank you all for joining us today on Boys and Brunch. And I want you guys to sign up to the Patreon and get it. You know, we're going to jump into splitting the bill afterwards. So please just jump straight into it. I'm Jarrod D. King. I am with Marcus Haynes, Brandon Harris Williams, and you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. There are our @ at the bottom of the screen there. Jarrod D. King, just call me Otis, and Loose as a Deuce. And I believe it's time for our toast, everyone. I have like a tiny bit left, but I do have a bottle next to me, so it's going to be...
I diluted this with a little bit of water because I have too much stuff to do. I have too much stuff to do today.
All right, so until next time, be careful what you say, because the boys will brunch. Take care.